Oh man, so, bruh, I'm trying to tell y'all, every single time I hear about Turkey Legs Hut, there's always some chaos going on. All the time. First I heard chaos about a dress code. That's the first time I ever heard about them. Then I found out there was a couple that ran the situation. Then the couple broke up. It was drama around that situation with the couple breaking up. Then there was health code violations. And the next thing I see, the owner set a competitor's place on fire. And then after that, news came out that they were selling weed at the establishment by packaging the baggage with the location's logo on it, on some Frank Lucas type shit. What? 50 Cent even reacting to the situation. After it says Turkey Leg Hut sold marijuana using bags branded with the restaurant logo, FBI says. 50 says, oh, look, he was trying to eat. No wonder the line was around the corner. What the fuck going on? Turkey Leg Hut coming to Shreveport, Red River District. He said, yo, F that, let me get a bag of that turkey leg. I hear smoke this and catch the munchies. Hey, yo. Now, Turkey Leg Hut was very popular. People say it was a staple. If you're going to visit Houston, then you had to pull up and see what's up with the Turkey Leg Hut. It's been a lot of different celebrities that have gone there. In Stanton location, you see QC pulling up. You got Trey the Truth. You know, he from Houston, always showing love. Kevin Hart, Michael Blackson. Who else can I see on here, man? 2 Chainz up there. Taco Fall, Ricky Rose, man. It just endless the amount of support that they've received from celebrities. So obviously they get the money, they getting bread, but why can't they keep their shit together to make sure things stay on point and the doors stay open? And they don't have to resort to, you know, aggressive tactics, you know, dangerous tactics against their competitors. Well, now what I'm hearing is that the competitor was someone who was formerly a business partner with the owner that was left there. But this one of the videos where I'm not doing an update. I'm actually doing a reaction video to see what's going on and catch up with y'all. You know, I've been busy, but I'm about to, you know, catch up on the situation and see what's up. So this is from the Family TV. I'll put the link in the description as we figure this out together and see all the BS that this company was up to. And if you are in Houston, or if you're not, if you have ate there, was the food good? Like, it looked interesting. Turkey stuff, turkey leg, like, wasn't interesting. Like, let me know what's up. But let's tap in to see what's going on with the situation.
Nobody wins when the family feels, but my...
That's them setting the shit on fire. I heard he paid these employees $1,400 a piece. That's insane. Hold on, you can't even get a lawyer for $1,400. Like,
and cheese on top of a turkey leg. Like, it changed the game with this one.
I tell you, the turkey leg is so tender. It just, like I said, falling off the bone.
If you're in Houston, you have to come to the Turkey Leg Hut. It is so worth the wait.
Price, owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Lundell Price, owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
You feel what I'm saying? It's the level of respect. And I don't get disrespect. I'm all right in the hood. You know, people respect me. So the thing that you came in my restaurant to fight, that was my first incident of a fight since our restaurant has ever been open.
Oh, wow, That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's with a black business. And we see 30-some thousand people a week.
How many people a week?
30-some thousand.
Oh, so y'all niggas is killing it.
No, we ain't killing, we murdering. They can stop playing with me.
No.
30,000.
No.
Hey, let me drink a little more so I can talk shit to you. Do a shot.
No.
Do a shot.
You don't need another shot.
We call it.
See, the wife seemed like she's trying to keep this dude level head. Then she ended up leaving, I believe, you know?
A shot o'clock.
No.
I hope this dude tell the story the right way. He usually does good content because I just ain't have time to, you know, to cover the story to get it out to y'all in the way that I would do it.
Once popular Turkey Leg Hut is officially closed. A judge converted the Third Ward establishment's Chapter 11 bankruptcy to Chapter 7, clearing the way for the restaurant's landowner to terminate the lease.
Oh.
This is new video from today showing the closed restaurant on Alameda. As you can see, all of the iconic signs are now gone. All assets are to be sold to repay creditors. This has been months in the making with a series of headlines from Bankruptcy.
Fam, most of us familiar with this quote growing up. You don't truly understand or experience life until you face obstacles that test your character. Whether that means turn into a life of crime or stand on a straight and narrow path to achieve your goals. It seems like trusting the people you believe in can become a challenge, especially when success is long lasting. Yet, adversity strikes unexpectedly. Fam, you ever met a person who didn't know how to accept no in no way, shape, or form? And in return, they lost everything they worked so hard for. fighting for what they used to be. Today, we're going to discuss a story that amplifies this struggle. A story about a man who faced tremendous loss over the past few years. Bankruptcy, losing his wife, his restaurant, his family, and now even his freedom. And a recent indictment from the feds has shined light on his controversial actions. This man is accused of burning out his competition, literally, alleging stealing recipes, selling drugs when the business was slow, and even using a restaurant logo to put on these narcotics. Not to mention, he scammed a gospel singer and his wife who were invested in the business.
Wow.
In this video, we dive into the story, examine the details of his recent arrest, and explore the events that led
His wife was a baddie though, I ain't gonna lie, she fine as hell.
to his current situation. But before we break this one down, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
I be giving angles, nigga. Respect to you though.
Fan meeting Nakia Holmes and her ex-husband, Lindell Lynn Price. Holmes and Price started the Turkey Leg Hut in 2015 in a parking lot across the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. 2 years later, they moved their bustling business to 4830 Amanda Street, where fans formed lines around the back waiting to get their hands on fall-off-the-bone turkey legs, covered in shrimp Alfredo, dirty rice, or other savoring toppings like crawfish, macaroni, and cheese. What began with 30 legs a week on a smoky pit had ballooned to hundreds in a matter of days thanks to demand.
I always say the world is going to taste our food.
Meet Nakia and Lynn Price, founders of the Turkey Leg Hut restaurant in Houston, Texas.
You know, we came up with the concept. People encouraged us, and before we knew it, it took off. We probably do about 45,000 turkey legs in a week.
That's insane.
Still to this day, I'm amazed to see that line wrapped around the building.
Imagine the suppliers that's like giving them that shit. Like they like, damn, we love y'all. 40,000 a week. Woo.
Here we go. Ford F-150 truck played a major role in pulling the barbecue pit.
We don't have to bring out a generator. To be able to plug up our food truck from our vehicle, I mean, it's genius. You're always on the go, so it's easy for me to be able to plug up what I need. It's made our life easier.
We've worked hard to get here. And we just this small little restaurant. But as I always say, the proof is in the pudding.
Why work for someone else's dreams when you can do it for yourself?
Now, Turkey Leg Hunt has seen some highs and lows in its near decade of opening. The restaurant went viral when the owners instituted a dress code after complaints of
that's when I heard about it. First time I heard about it. Right there.
Women and men entering the business with little to no clothing.
The Third Ward's Turkey Leg Hut is getting national attention this weekend after implementing a controversial dress code. Fox 26's Chelsea Edwards tells us why the popular restaurant is now in the hot seat.
Turkey Leg Hut was trending nationwide on Twitter after posting these new dress code rules. Some say it alienates their customers. Others say it's about time.
Turkey Leg Hut draws in crowds from across the nation with its famously stuffed legs. That's what the restaurant says it wants to see less of in this dress code posted Friday that excludes bonnets and exposed undergarments and states all body parts must be completely covered.
That's crazy, man. You trying to keep the ratchets out. Meanwhile, you doing ratchet shit.
Makes your meal much more pleasant. He had to change her clothes.
Critics,
if it's one thing a motherfucker gonna have, it's the audacity.
cooked up social media jokes featuring black tie and Amish attire as the new requirement, but others accuse the restaurant of kicking out the same fan base that made them popular, even calling the owners racist.
We're a restaurant and we're not a club, let alone a strip club.
The restaurant says its family-friendly atmosphere has been taking a hit during the return to summer fun, with some customers complaining about what was hanging out at the table next to them.
As we see, people coming in with pants all the way below the bottom of their derriere. We see, women coming in with nothing but exposed butt and thigh.
They also say the first...
That's one thing, though, like, about certain black establishments, like, you get to a certain level, then it's going to become that location to go to and pop out to and meet people and things of that sort. Like, I wonder if they'll start serving drinks too. That's a whole nother level of like Oh man, like I can understand trying to get a hold of it, but not trying to take away from the essence of the people wanting to come there and feel welcome and free. I don't know. Sometimes niggas always want to turn shit into a party, bruh. So I get it, man. I get it. I get you trying to like maintain that family value, that family shit, because people wouldn't go to certain restaurants if it wasn't considered a black establishment, looking a certain type of way. They wouldn't think it's that vibe for the fun there. I get it. Plus you hear the music. I see both sides, but yeah, if I'm bringing my child out, I do not want her to see chick with the cheeks hanging out or the see-through outfit that these women love to wear. They treat it like brunch. This shit not brunch.
First post was a draft not meant to be published. It was replaced with this list that prohibits excessively revealing clothing.
It was not implemented to change our image. We still like to have a good time, but at the same time, it's an environment where there are children here. There are
God damn, got the cheeks in the streets.
Have a good time, but at the same time,
she got about 2 fat ass turkey legs back there.
It's an environment where there are children.
Put that bitch on the grill.
Children here. There are older people here.
Turkey Leg Hut says there are no other changes in the works, but guests who don't follow the guidelines may.
What's up with men, dog? I done seen 1,000 fat asses in my life, but you just see one that's like, God damn. And that one looked like the thighs match too. So, you get extra admiration when the thighs match the cheeks.
Like environment where there are children.
That's house fed. That's not ain't no injections. House fed cheeks.
We still like to have a good time, but at the same time, it's an environment where there are children here.
No, that shit probably a BBL. I'm just talking shit.
There are, older people here.
Turkey Leg Hut says there are no other changes in the works, but guests who don't follow the guidelines may be turned away.
I would think it's appropriate for them to cover up. I mean, if you're coming here and you're coming here for business, you don't want to come here for that.
Leaving some diners to enjoy their turkey meat while seeing less.
Back on March 26, 2024, the Turkey Leg Hunt owner Nakia Holmes had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, according to court record. But it was the information that was provided during that time that was alarming in the Southern District of Texas, stating that in the past few months of the time of her filing bankruptcy, her business was riddled with controversy. Via Instagram, she quoted, "The company has initiated a voluntary court-supervised process that will allow it the necessary flexibility to continue ongoing discussions with all financial stakeholders. In connection with the filing, the company has sought approval to continue its operations while meeting its obligations to all stakeholders, employees, suppliers, and vendors." According to court records, the owner had listed 19 creditors with the estimated liability of $1 million and $10 million. Two of the largest accounts including the amount of $1.9 million and a disputed amount of $932,000. But it's a guy named Rogers, who's now the owner of Bar 5015 in the 3rd Ward. He filed a lawsuit against his colleagues, who he used to work for, in 2020. In his suit, he alleged the restaurant's majority owner, Nakia Holmes, formerly Price, was diverting funds, customers, and supplies to her other food trucks and catering businesses without compensating Rogers and other shareholders.
Oh, so you ain't innocent, Miss Stein.
But later that year, Roger Bar would be lit on fire, June of 2020. And it would take to 2025 to know why. Apparently, of course, the lawsuit, but Roger also took the recipe, the supplier, from the Turkey Leg Hunt and made it his for Bar 5150. And
oh no, you gotta catch some smoke too, my boy.
Apparently, that was
literally and figuratively, yeah, you probably gotta get your shit burnt down. You should, oh yeah. I was having a conversation about that recently though. Like that's something that's gonna happen. Like someone that you work with, that's the risk that's gonna happen, that they're gonna take the Krabby Patty recipe and do something with it. If the relationship between you guys don't maintain, it's a possibility that whatever you guys came up with together, they'll take it and expand and do their own thing. That's a possibility always in business that you gotta prepare for. People only loyal to their last dollar, their last meal.
To know why. Apparently, of course, the lawsuit, but Roger also took the recipe, the supplier, from the Turkey Leg Hunt and made it his for Bar 5150. And apparently, that was the key ingredient to the Turkey Leg Hunt.
So he took the supplier and everything. That's some lighting that thing on fire. That's crazy. They gotta get rid of them shoes too, full of gasoline. Want that gasoline now?
According to the feds, Lynn Price, the former owner of the Turkey Leg Hunt, allegedly paid a group of men $1,400 to set the bar on fire. But then more information was coming out. James Fortune, a Grammy-nominated gospel singer, and his wife had filed a lawsuit against Nakia Price after finding out that she had filed for bankruptcy It seems they claim they loaned her hundreds of thousands of dollars to help keep the restaurant afloat. The lawsuit also indicates the claim that Fortune and his wife invested nearly $400,000 in the restaurant, including $180,000 for a 15% ownership stake. The couple is seeking to recover their investment and expenses.
But first tonight, more legal trouble for Houston's well-known turkey leg hut.
A Grammy-nominated gospel singer James Fortune and his wife are now suing the restaurant's owner over claims they put more than $300,000 into the restaurant and are now out of the money. Sherman Chow joins us live with the story you'll see only on KHU 11 News. Sherman, this is just the latest problem for this popular restaurant.
Well, that's one thing they say about the restaurant business. It's a hard business. You're going to be in the red for a very long time. I keep hearing it all the time. Like, that is a tough business to get into.
It is indeed, Mia. We are outside of Turkey Leg Hut, which remains closed because of...
I'm just saying it because, like, look how popular it is, the amount of people that's coming through on a daily basis, and they still having issues, dog. Be careful, you guys out there that got money. Y'all probably already know, but restaurants...
35 health department code violations. And now a new lawsuit has been filed, and we are learning exclusively that a nationally known gospel artist says he and his wife have been violated too. James Fortune, gospel singer, husband, and investor. In 2018, he and wife Raquel met Nakia and Lindell Price at the Price's popular Third Ward restaurant. Turkey Leg Hut seemed the epitome of success.
We go to their home. We spend time, our kids interacted with each other.
Then last December, as the Prices were in the throes of a contentious divorce, the Fortunes say they loaned Nakia, as the restaurant's owner, $100,000. 2 months later, Raquel says Nakia phoned.
She was hysterical because the comptrollers were physically there to seize assets, and so she needed financial assistance immediately.
The Fortunes then say they put in $180,000 for 15% ownership of the Turkey Leg Hut. The next month, the Fortunes tell us Nakia couldn't pay bills.
So she asked if I would use...
Did y'all see what they showed? Well, your mind say, take me to Chanel. That's the thing I was thinking, like, dog. I just didn't say it out loud when I thought it because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of problems that some of us have with black people. I love black people, so don't even come on my damn page because I'm about to make this comment and try to talk shit about me because I'm blackity black. I'm so black, some people may call me racist. All right? So I said that to say, sometimes we have issues with wanting to show our not our wealth, but our success. And the success could be something as simple as graduating college or some shit. But showing that you graduated college for, got a degree to be a doctor, got your doctorate. Before someone even gets the money that comes from that degree, they want to show that I have this earning potential. Let me go ahead and get the car for this degree. Before they pay back a dime to any student loans or anything, let me go ahead and show my accomplishment, show you it. So this business, they trying to get it together. Early stages in the business. And you trying to show the success of the business with the things that you purchase. No, the success is in the lines. You got to be happy with that. Like, the success is in the numbers that you see, the people that's lining up, the happy people with full bellies, and the consistency is that. So you can see from purchases like this, you can see that alone right there, that how their minds was, what they was moving, how they was moving. Like, this is what they was focused on. They wanted to show their success. And you ain't got to. Because we get too caught up in trying to prove shit to people. Or we see other people that have done things once they got to a certain level, and we want to go ahead and show that, oh, we're at that level now. Look what I have, and now I match this person. Sometimes, and we may not even know that person's situation. Either they may be super comfortable, so that shit don't even bother them, purchase this right here, or they may be at a point that they faking the funk too.
The Fortunes tell us Nakia couldn't pay bills.
So she asked if I would use my personal card to purchase food for the business.
The Fortunes say they spent thousands paying for food supplies and services. Then, on March 26th, Turkey Leg Hut filed for bankruptcy, declaring less than $50,000 in assets.
By then, we're, $300,000 in. Bankruptcy was filed a month after we had given that money. We come to find out there's millions in debt now.
Over the past several weeks, I went to the Turkey Leg Hut, contacted employees, attorneys, and Nakia Holmes requesting an interview, which she declined. The Fortunes say in hopes of keeping the restaurant afloat, they even paid some employees when Turkey Leg Hut did not.
Did you take a business risk and it just didn't work, as opposed to something more nefarious?
I think I allowed my friendship to blind me in a lot of areas. It's no words to describe the level of pain, hurt, and frustrations.
The Fortunes say they put in nearly $400,000 into the restaurant. Now they are suing and praying in hopes of getting their money back.
I ain't gonna lie, my biggest takeaway in that situation is gospel pays a lot. That's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, they got it like that. There's some rappers that can't even invest like that.
Now, we should note that some of the players in this ongoing Turkey Leg Hut drama do have criminal convictions, including James Fortune. Those are from several years past and are unrelated to Turkey Leg Hut and this lawsuit. I did contact Nakia Holmes yesterday again for comment. Her representative declined a response.
As you can see, fam, at this point he had a lot going on. But little did he know, less than a year from then, the feds will come knocking on his door. On the last week of April of 2025, Price was arrested and accused of orchestrating the 2020 burning of Bar 5015 and a bar just blocks away from Turkey Leg Hut, which closed in 2024. The bar is owned by Steve Rogers, who was also co-owner of Turkey Leg Hut, which we briefly talked about. Two other men, John Lee Price and
Wait, did he say 2 bars? My bad.
This door. On the last week of April of 2025, Price was arrested and accused of orchestrating the 2020 burning of Bar 5015 and a bar just blocks away from Turkey Leg Hut, which closed in 2024. The bar is owned by Steve Rogers, who was also co-owner of Turkey Leg Hut, which we briefly talked about. Two other men, John Lee Price and Amarni Williams, were also arrested as part of the same federal indictment. John Lee Price was arrested on federal drug charges in Mississippi in 2023. Federal prosecutors said while he was in custody, he was interviewed by the FBI, who had been investigating the fire since 2022. John Lee Price, who is not related to Lynn Price, admitted to his role in the fire and identified Lynn Price, his employer, as the person who orchestrated and organized the arson. John Lee Price also told the FBI agents that Lynn Price was using the Turkey Leg Hut to store hundreds of pounds of Mary Jane. He told the feds that the marijuana would be sold at the restaurant and packaged and bearing the business name. During testimony that lasted more than an hour, investigators uncovered evidence that showed Lynn Price threatened Rogers after he bought the bar 5015 in 2019. Rogers told the FBI that he initially considered partner with Lynn and Nakia Holmes, Price's ex-wife and another Turkey Leg Hut owner, in ownership of the bar, but decided against it. Rogers' decision upset Lynn Price. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price bought a box of cash to the bar to attempt to buy the business. The offer was rejected. Lynn Price later called and sent messages to Rogers complaining about the bar. In some of the messages, Lynn Price said he was upset about the bar selling crawfish and using the same supplier as the Turkey Leg Hut. In others, he wrote that he was upset that the bartenders were gossiping about Price and Holmes. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price threatened to blow up the bar. In addition to John Lee Price's confession, Amarni Williams also cooperated with investigators. The FBI tracked John Lee Price's cell phone to an area of the bar 5015 on the morning of the fire and uncovered early morning phone calls between Lynn Price and John Lee Price. Before and after the fire was set, at least 2 other men are believed to have participated in setting the fire. Neither has been charged, according to court records. John Lee Price told the FBI he received 2 payments from Lynn Price after the fire. The first was for $1,000, which was distributed to the crew. The second was for $400. Lynn Price is also charged with orchestrating the theft and arson of a car, a 1975 Chevy Nova Blue, 2 months before the bar fire. John Lee Price allegedly told FBI agents that Lynn Price, for years, orchestrated the theft and illegal sales of cars, heavy equipment, and trailers.
What?
He also testified that the Nova belonged to a police officer, and when Lynn Price learned who the owner was, he ordered for the car to be destroyed. Now, during this hearing, testimony from authorities also found weapons at Lynn Price's apartment, including guns registered to other people and a flamethrower. Lynn Price was a convicted felon from felony tax fraud charges in 2016 and is not permitted to own a gun. Prosecutor said he's not been charged with any weapon offenses. The prosecutors quoted that the number of accusations against him should support a decision to keep him in custody. Quoting, he's the orchestrator. He's the one who tries to keep his hands clean.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serrano.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance video from that early morning.
Right, that is not enough money to keep these niggas quiet. $1,400 is not enough money to keep these niggas quiet. They probably spent that shit in a weekend.
In June of 2020, when masked men,
and that's at least 3-4 people,
poured gasoline all over the patio before that fire that then caused an explosion and destroyed the building. An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up. So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud related charges. Once he got out on supervised release, prosecutors allege that he's been involved in other criminal activity, including paying a co-defendant in this arson case to steal vehicles and heavy machinery. The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging. Prosecutors allege Lynn Price got the proceeds and gave some of the money to that co-defendant. And while he's not charged connected to those allegations specifically, Price's attorney argues he is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after natural disasters.
Mr. Lindell Price deserves a bond for various reasons. One being that he's not a danger to the community. You heard multiple testimony as it relates to his community involvement, the things that he does for the community. But more importantly, the co-defendants that are on his indictment have all been given a bond. So we're asking for equity and asking for a bond similar to the other people on his indictment.
The federal judge ended this hearing by saying there's a lot to think about and she's going to chew on it. We don't yet know when she'll make a decision about keeping Lynn Price in custody.
And Bryce, we understand Lynn Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Now, around both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the two men were in touch.
And Bryce, we know you sat in court throughout the morning. What was Price's demeanor like in court today, and what do we know about what happens next?
Lisa, Lynn Price was still handcuffed and shackled. He was wearing an olive green jumpsuit. He had many people there to support him and seemed hopeful at the beginning of this hearing. He was nodding at them as they came in, but then as the hearing went on, he seemed to keep his head down. And then at times when some of these new allegations came out and were discussed, he would appear to react.
Well, I guess 50 Cent has some new content, because best believe they're going to make a new TV series out of this. It's a little different, but I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. Fam, this was the story of a restaurant business owner who got a divorce, indicted, and lost his business in less than 12 months. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and today, catch you guys on the next one.
I ain't gonna lie, though. I ain't gonna lie.
23.
The wife's still free, ain't she? She bring that turkey leg cut to Miami. I may have to pull up. You bring the turkey leg hut to Miami, I'm gonna pull up and taste that turkey leg. Hell nah, but yeah, I just wanted to see what's going on with y'all, but y'all got a gist of it. I ain't got much more to say that you ain't already thinking on your own. So we can go ahead and move on to the next video, man. Let me know what you gotta say in the comment section below. I'm gonna get out of here though. This is another update with Stace. With the, with the help from the family TV. Yo.